Hi guys. So today I'm doing a video that's a little bit different from videos I usually do because I usually do hair, makeup, skincare. But today I want to talk about menstrual cramps, like painful periods. So my period started when I was about 12 years old and I was so excited because I was at this summer camp and my friends were like, oh, my period started like a month ago. And this girl, her period started the night before we went to summer camp. And I was like, oh my God, I wish my period would start. And 2 days after, my period starts. Well, I think I went to the bathroom and I peed and I saw blood. And I was like, yes, finally. Well, I wasn't really happy, but I didn't know if I should be happy or not. So I went home. I got some money from my grandma. I got some pads, and I was excited because normally I see my aunts and people buying pads, but I never had to use one. So I was like, oh, finally I get to use pads. So everything was going on good. I think it flowed for about maybe a week or so, till about 6 months after. I would say maybe between 4 to 6 months, it started hurting so bad. Actually, I think it started coming. Well, it flowed maybe 3 months or 4 months, and then it stopped. And I was like, oh my God, am I pregnant? Like, I know I didn't have sex, but you always get so scared. When your period doesn't come, it means you're pregnant. So I was praying to God, like, please, God, please, please, please let me see my period. So it finally came one Sunday evening, and oh my God, did this hurt. Like, this was like the worst pain I'd ever felt. Like, I was throwing up, I couldn't eat, I had high fever, I was weak, it was just crazy. But I was happy because my period was here. And the pain hurt for about maybe 24 hours, and my period flowed for 4 days, and then it would stop, and then it would flow for maybe 2 more days. For some reason, my period always has a break. So, I was happy. I thought maybe I'd done something wrong. Maybe there's just something wrong with me. That's why I was hurting so bad. But then the pain continued. And I know my grandma said something about my mom having cramps, and that was why it happened to me. I really don't know why still, because she said in her family side she doesn't have any cramps. Because my cousins didn't have any. Well, they did have it, but not as much. Like the pain, like they weren't throwing up, weren't crying and crawling on the floor. It was just crazy. So every month, everybody knew, everybody in my house knew. I would cry, and then they'd rush me to the hospital, and then they'll give me a shot. The pain would succeed. The pain would go away in about maybe 5 minutes, and I would go home. And when it stops, and it starts for the second time during that same month, it would hurt just a little bit, not as much as when it initially starts. So my mom used to send. I was in Cameroon back then, so my mom would send me Tylenol, and it helped. Like, honestly, I feel like when I take pain reliever for my cramps, it helps for like the first 2 3 times, and after that it just stops working. Same thing happened with the shots I was getting. I don't know what the shots were called, but obviously it wouldn't be called the same thing here. So about 6 times the shots stopped working. So it would maybe kill the pain a little bit for like 30 minutes, and then the pain would like just go back away. The pain would come back. So and I was in boarding school after that, and I knew, like, I was happy now because I knew if my period comes, I'd have to go home. So I would cry, and then they would send me home. And my grandma would be like, oh, you're just a spoiled baby. You just want to come home. And sometimes I would need the shot. Sometimes I was just being a big baby. I would just cry so I could come home. But this isn't actually the reason why I'm doing this video. I just want to talk about periods and what I have tried to help me, and some things people said I should do, and things that actually helped and things that didn't help. So I remember one time, well, they're gonna be in stories, so I'm gonna tell you a story about what someone told me to take and what if it helped or not. Remember one time I had like really, really bad cramps, and this lady said I should drink beer. And I was in Cameroon then, and I was like, why the hell would I have to drink a glass of beer? And I drank it, and it didn't help. Another time I was at my aunt's house, and for some reason sugar makes the pain worse for me. Like a week before my period, I tried not to eat like fruits, not to drink anything like juices or pop, nothing sweet, no cereal, which is what I eat for breakfast all the time. So I would just maybe skip breakfast, or I would drink the cereal and be ready for the pain. So I was at my aunt's, and it started. So I was crying, throwing up, and just so you know, I don't throw up every time. I throw up maybe like every 4 months. For some reason, the pain, like, let's say if it hurts this month very, very much, the next month it doesn't hurt so much. The next month it doesn't hurt so much. The next month it barely hurts. But then the next month after it hurts like hell. And I'm throwing up, I have fever, and I can't walk, I can't eat. I'm just, yeah. So I was at my aunt's house, and I told her, I'm like, I can't have sugar when I'm on my period because it hurts more. And she's like, no, when I'm on my period, I drink sweet stuff and it helps. And guess what? I drank like a little cup of tea with lots of sugar, and I was screaming. Oh, I wasn't screaming, but my stomach hurt so much. I was like, I knew I shouldn't have listened to her because the sugar makes it worse. Like everybody just stopped trying. Like after a while, I knew the shots didn't help, so I just stopped taking the shots. And this other lady said drink hot water, it's gonna help, or warm water. I tried it, it didn't do nothing. Some people said turn around and sleep on your stomach. When I'm on my period, I can't sleep on one position. Like sometimes I need to lift my legs up to make it feel better. Sometimes I need to put my head on the floor and like kneel down, and the pain will go away for like 30. Like sometimes I do sleep like in weird positions. Like I sleep kneeling down because the pain would go away for like 30 minutes, but then it would come again. What else? Let's see. And I read online, well, after I came here, like my mom, for some reason, she just thinks I'm I'm the most spoiled child in the whole world. So when I started crying, back in Cameroon, when I had my period, I was given all this attention. My grandma would cook special food for me. I would just lay in bed all day. She would come check on me. And she's like, oh, my baby, how are you doing? And all this nice stuff. But my mom, when I came here, I had the one that really hurt. This lady, she's like, well, that's not a topic of the video, but she didn't like give me as much attention as I usually get. And she was like, oh, you're just a big baby, get over it, it doesn't hurt that much. And I really hate when people whose period don't hurt as much feel like, oh, I'm a woman and I get period too and it hurts, but it doesn't hurt the same for everyone. Like there are people who pass out, and I'm glad that's not me. Like it happens different for other people. So I feel like you shouldn't judge someone's pain just because you don't get any pain. Don't feel like it's the same for someone else. And I really, really hate it when people did that. But recently I bought a heating pad because people said when you put like something hot over your stomach, it does help. And I don't know, like for me, well, usually on my periods I get fever, so the warmness of the pad like made me warm. I wasn't sure if it did help the pain, but if you don't have a heating pad, you can take a towel, put it in the microwave for a little bit, or heat it up, squeeze in some hot water and put it in a Ziploc bag and be careful. Don't make it too hot that's gonna burn yourself. Or you can wrap it over some sort of insulation stuff so it doesn't burn you, and you can put it over here. I feel like the warmness just feels nice, but I'm not sure if it does help the pain. But like I said, everyone is different. Just because it didn't help work for me doesn't mean it's gonna work. It's not gonna work for you. And like my aunt said, her period helps. Sugar helps her period. So everyone is different. And I used to like drink ibuprofen like all the time, and like I stopped. I don't drink it anymore because I know it tears down your stomach, your inside. So I don't drink it anymore. But I I have recently started using Aleve, and it's I believe it doesn't contain the same ingredients like ibuprofen, so it wouldn't tear down your stomach. So it did help, but like I said, when I used it the first time, I drank it like a week through before my period, and it helped a great deal. I was still in pain, but the pain was bearable. But this time I used it, and the pain was a little bit bearable, but I couldn't, like, I would sleep and wake up. And another thing, I just recently got on birth control because of the pain, because I'm like, okay, birth control is gonna stop my period. But it did reduce the flow, but the pain, I was like, okay, the flow, if it doesn't flow this much, why am I feeling so much pain? So I really don't know. So if you do have something that works for you, and you do have maybe symptoms like mine, please leave me a comment, because honestly, I can't stand this pain anymore. There are times I've had to miss work, I've had to miss school. It's uncomfortable. Like, I'm just crying like a little baby and throwing up. And for some people bloat during the period. For me, it's a complete opposite. Like, I feel like I lose weight because I can't eat, and I'm throwing up the little whatever I have. Like, sometimes, like, I'm throwing up like just foam because I have nothing in me, and I drink water, it just goes right out, which I don't think is healthy for anyone. So please, 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 if you have any anything you've used for your period that I haven't mentioned, please let me know. And yeah, and if I said something you've never used, you could go ahead and try it. I have used Tylenol, and it worked for maybe the first 3 months, and it stopped. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe, I know you're supposed to take it like a week through before it starts, but I never keep count. I know I'm not gonna get pregnant, so I just know it's gonna come whenever it comes. And if it doesn't come, I'm like, thank God, and I'm not scared because I know I'm not scared because I know I'm not pregnant. So when it doesn't come, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So yeah, and I mean, and if you're out there with symptoms like mine, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for me. Just hang in there. And I know the causes of the thing is the period pain is because the lining in your wall or whatever is supposed to protect the baby is going out because you didn't use it because you don't have a baby in it. But if it's happening to you and it's happening to me, why should it hurt more of me and not even you don't even get any pain? So yeah. And another thing, when I told my aunt about the pain, she took me to this doctor, and he did some weird stuff to me, which I want to talk about. And after that, my period cut to 3 days. So it would flow for the first 2 days, and it would stop and flow for the next day. But before, it was like a week. It would flow for about 5 days or 4 days and stop and flow for 2 more days. So now it flows for 3 days, 4 days, but I still get the break, which I don't mind, which I'm happy because I don't want to see this nasty blood for a week. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but just stay strong. And I now, the pain has reduced as I grow up, and now I eat. Like, I don't like go through days. I don't starve myself for days because of the pain anymore. But sometimes I can't eat because you're in pain. You can't be like, well, I have to eat. So like this month's period, I had no appetite. So almost the end of the day. And yeah, and another thing, I go use the toilet a lot, like I poop a lot during my period. I don't know why. So I don't bloat. I don't, which is a good thing because it keeps me skinny, you know. But yeah, I think this video is already long enough, so I'm gonna cut it right here. But yeah, please, 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 if I said anything, if I didn't say what you use that works for you, please, please leave me a comment below, because I am just freaking tired of pain. And maybe the birth control will help. This is my first month of taking it. Maybe it's gonna subside as I go, but I just can't wait till I just wake up every day, every single day of my life without having to worry about any pain. So I hope this video was helpful for you out there, whatever reason you're watching. But yeah, you all have a perfect and nice day. Bye.